guys, how you doing? I hope you're all well. You probably notice I ain't at the boat. Obviously I'm at home today. I just want to apologise really, because I ain't been in touch with you for a while. I bet you all thought I'd run away. But no, seriously, I've been up to my neck in it. I have been down the boat. So there's loads of videos to put on, but I just ain't had time to edit them. It's editing that takes the time, and obviously I'm flat out at work, and I am going on holiday in the next couple of weeks. So I've been trying to get work done, obviously my job, get it all completed before I go on holiday. So I'm away for a couple of weeks as well. But I have been doing loads down the boat, and I'm going to get all them videos posted. I'm going to try and do a bit while I'm on holiday as well, so there should be plenty to watch. But so I ain't run away. I've just got to edit everything that I've done, which takes blooming ages. But anyway, can you see my crutch frame? Look, see it? There it is. There, look. So that's the. So I have been building that as well, which is another video I'll put on just shortly. So that's the front crutch frame for the boat. Obviously there'll be a piece of glass in the front, and there's another piece which I've built, which sits on the roof of the boat, and obviously there'll be a plank of timber from the roof to the front crutch frame. Then obviously the cover goes over. So I've been knocking that together in the shed as well. So that's something to look out for. Look at. I've lined all the roof out now, done some painting, done a bit of plumbing, got all the spotlights in as well. So there's plenty to look at, and I'll be uploading that over the next few weeks. So stay tuned, and there'll be plenty more to look at. See you soon. Hey, morning guys, how you doing? Hope you're all well. I'm back here at the boat again, back at the boatyard, as you can see. Lovely morning. Just giving you the weather forecast again. Lovely morning. It's supposed to be the hottest day of the year today, so we're at the end of, oh crikey, end of June now. By the time we had a bit of good weather in it. It's been blooming raining and raining. It's absolutely hopeless. But hopefully this will be the start of the sunshine now. Fingers crossed anyway. Okay, so like I say, back at the boat. All the lining of the walls is done now. I'll show you in a sec. So obviously I don't video every bit of the lining process, because you saw some of it, and it's pretty much all the same, and I don't want to bore you to death, you know, just putting the same sheet supply on the wall. So it's all lined out now, and what I'm going to do today is set about lining the ceiling. Like I say, all the walls are done, but the ceiling's still got to be done. So that's the next step. We'll have a brew first though. We'll have a cup of coffee in you before you start. So we'll get the kettle on, and then we'll set about the roof. So come on then, let's crack on. Okay guys, so all the walls are lined, look. So a quick tour. Obviously the place is a right mess, it's like we've had a party. But so here we go. So at the pointy end, there's all the walls lined out. I've got to put the sockets in yet, or the back, should I say, the mattresses and the sockets. But a lot more to do before that. Bathroom is lined out, and obviously the rest of the boat. So what we've got to do today is set about lining the ceiling. So like I say, my cable's going down the middle. So what I've picked up today is half a dozen sheets of 6mm ply, because I'm only going to use 6mm on the ceiling because of the curve, and I wanted to follow the curve of the ceiling. Of course, I didn't want to use 9mm like I've used on the sides, and I've used 12mm on the bulkheads at the back, and obviously at the front of the boat. So I didn't want to use anything too thick because I wanted it to follow the contour of the ceiling. So that's why I've used 6mm. So all we're going to do is cut a sheet down the middle, and that'll leave me the gap in the middle to allow me my cables to be run. But we'll go through it as you'll see it as we go through anyway. So we'll crack on with that. There you go. There's my trusty tripod. Look, bit different to Colin's. For those of you who watched Colin's channel, obviously he's got Trevor the tripod, haven't we? So mine ain't got oak legs or anything. It's a bit more aluminium than that. But I reckon we get them together actually, and see what the outcome is. See you in a bit. Okay guys, so there's the first one, the first of many. So all I've done, I've cut a full sheet perfectly in half. So it's the full length of the boat by 61, because the sheet's 122 wide. And obviously I'll put another one down the other side in a second. You can watch me do that. You'll obviously notice that I've put as well braces right the way across the boat, just to try and even the sheet out, because I wanted it to follow the exact curve of the boat. And I was worried that if when I looked at it, I was worried that if I'd just screwed it to the bands that were going straight down the length of the boat, it might have gone flat. I.e., instead of like going from, let me get a piece just to show you what I'm on about. See, if I'd have put that like that, if I had to put the hoops in, those hoops, when I put the flat sheet of board up, I was worried that it had just gone flat like that and not actually formed the curve which I wanted to see on the boat. Do you see what I'm saying? I think if I had to put that hoop there, then the sheet would have gone like that, flat into the ceiling rather than curved. So that's why I've put that curve on, so it actually follows the shape of the roof. So that's why I've done it. So I'm going to do the other side now. I just thought I'd show you that first one. I wanted to get that up so I could just perfect my technique before I showed you. So that's where we are. So there you go guys, that's today's work. Ain't looking too bad, even though I do say so myself. Still a bit to do at the end, of course. So there you go. Didn't come out too bad at all. Pleased with that. Carry on next time. Morning guys. How you doing? You alright? I hope you're all well. Thanks for coming back on the boat for me. With me, should I say, rather. So today we're going to get some lights in. So that's the plan for today. Don't know whether you can see. So we've got some of the lining in, of course, as you know. Now we're going to set about putting a few of these downlighters in that we spoke about the other day. See you in a minute. Okay guys, so making up our lights. What I'm using is a crimp on the light end. So we're using a spade connector, the red one, which will accept a 1.5mm cable. I hope you can see that. And obviously these are our lamps. So we went for the cool white. I don't know whether it might be backwards in the screen, but with an aluminium finish. That's what we actually ended up with. That's what we chose. And on this end of the fitting, we need to put a couple of spade connectors. So I'll just peel that back a little bit. Strip a bit of insulation off, just a little bit. Like so. Like that. And then we're just putting a couple of pieces of heat shrink on just to protect everything. If you've never used heat shrink, obviously this is it. I've got a couple of sizes, so I've got a big one and a smaller one. And as you apply heat to it, it just shrinks down and grips the cable. Now this is very thin cable, so I'm putting a couple of pieces on. So I'll shrink one down first and then put another one on top of it and shrink that down. And the only reason I'm doing that is to give the cable a little bit of thickness. So when I put the larger one on, which you'll see in a minute, which goes over the whole connector, it grips down onto the smaller cable, because this is quite a big piece, large diameter of shrink of heat shrink, and if I didn't put the extra bits of insulation onto the thinner cable, it wouldn't shrink down enough. I'll show you anyway. So just pop a couple of pieces of heat shrink on. So there's one. I don't know whether you can see it, hopefully you can. There's the other. And then what we're going to do is obviously crimp a red connector onto the end. So all I've done is stripped it back and doubled it over. Pop it through. Now if you ain't seen these, I'm sorry, I ain't trying to patronise you, but these are just ratcheting crimp pliers. So on the smallest, have a close up, you can see they've all got little teeth and for different sizes. So the red one is the last one, or the end one. So we pop that on, crimp him, and all it does, it puts an indent in the back of the crimp clip, and obviously squashes the front down as well, so that's absolutely good and solid. And again, the same on the other end. Pop the crimp on. I'm just repeating this process for all, would you believe, 26 lamps. So it's going to take a while, so I won't show them you all, obviously you'd be bored to death. So then all I'm doing is I'm actually pushing the black crimp into the black heat shrink into the end of the crimp, and then the whole thing will be sealed when I'm only putting this on just to increase the cable diameter. So there we go, that's one piece. Because these flying leads are only tiny little leads actually on the light itself. A little bit fiddly. And then I've got a heat gun. This is my heat gun. Again, just so we don't in our fingers. Whether you could actually see that shrinking down, and there's another piece to go on the top. Here's one, as they say, here's one I did earlier. So, I don't know whether you can see that now. So it's all crimped up with a heat shrink on. And all that's done, the heat shrink's given the cable a little bit of thickness, it's a bigger diameter. So when I actually slide, here's a piece of bigger heat shrink. When I slide that on, to protect the connection, when I heat all that up, it'll just shrink it down, and it'll shrink it down onto this diameter. Whereas before, if I hadn't increased the thickness, this heat shrink wouldn't have shrunk down onto this thickness here, onto the cable thickness. So that's why I've just increased it a little bit. I hope that makes sense. And I couldn't go down in size because I needed to be that big so I could get it over the connector. I hope that all makes sense to you. I'll show you in a minute anyway. Right, let's plod on. So on the ends of my cables, you can see that I've actually put, so there's the cable, look. So there are lots of these now, all with their crimp connectors on. Just give you, there's a blue one because it's just single. The blue ones are 2.5 mil, and the yellows will accept a cable between 4 and 6 millimeters. And the reds are 1.5 millimeters. So there you can see they've all got a crimp connector on now. And just a close up so you can see, so you actually put the cable through and you can see how it's crimped it on the back, and those are rock solid. And of course we'll put the heat shrink on those after to insulate them. Show you more in a sec. Okay guys, there you go. So I've shut the doors, turned off the work lights that I had rigged up, and there it is. Every light's on now, right the way down the boat. So there you have it. There we go. Through into the bedroom. One in the cupboard. And of course, the bathroom lights. Super. Pleased with that. Let's just demonstrate. So I've rigged up the switch temporarily, so as you walk into the boat you'll be able to switch this bank on and off, and then we could also switch the lighting from this switch. So there's the doorway lights are off and on. And then what we can also do is from the same double switch, switch the lounge lights off, leaving obviously the kitchen and dinette lights on. And then of course we can also switch them on from here, on this switch. That's that. And then we can also switch from the neighbouring switch, the bathroom lights on and off. So they're off now, and then I can also switch them back on in the bedroom. Hang on, which is that one? And of course, we'll switch the bedroom lights on and off. And then off from this single switch here. So there you go, two-way lighting all the way through the boat.